Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Vayakhel-Pekudei. In Parshas Truma, we are commanded to build the Mishkan. Yet in Parshas Vayakhel, we seem to be repeating during the 122 Pesukim there about the building of the Mishkan. Similarly, in Parshas Tetzaveh, we have a whole discussion about the details of the commandment to make the Bigdei Kahuna, the garments of the Kohanim. And yet, in Parshas Pekudei, most of those 92 Pesukim relate to the fact that the Bnei Yisrael made those garments. The Torah does not waste words. So Rav Pam discusses that we can learn a lesson from here. Why is there this repetition of these two parshios into another two parshios? Rav Pam says the lesson here is that about making planning into reality. And that what happened here is Truma and Tetzaveh, they use the language of the Sisa. They are commands for the Bnei Yisrael to do these things, to make the Mishkan, to make the Bigdei Kahuna. In Parshas Pekudei and Vayakhel-Pekudei, the language is Vayas, that they did it, they completed it. In other words, the Asisa, the command to do, became a reality. And this is very strange, that the making, the commandment to do it became Vasisa, that they actually fulfilled it. So many times there is a construction project, a gigantic project, development. What happens? It comes over budget. It takes longer to build than was planned. It doesn't even look like the original plans. What happened? The Vasisa did not become Vayas. It didn't make the plan come into reality. Similarly, at the time of Elul, Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur, we make these plans to improve ourselves. We have a tremendous Vasisa that we want to make it. And then what happens by Hanukkah time? We see that how much drops off. Vayas didn't happen. We didn't complete that original plan. It did not become a reality. And this is why I chose this point this week, because it's so timely. Not in the way that you might be thinking. It's because Rapam says here that this drasha from about 1984-85, it was at the time of a Siyam Hashas that the 2,711 dapim were completed, just like we completed this year, and had the Siyam on January 1st of 2020. Instead of being in Madison Square Garden, Baruch Hashem, it grew dramatically that it was not even be able to be contained in MetLife with about 93,000 seats there. It was so big, it has grown so much. Yet, he says what happens after a Siyam Hashas is people get inspired and they start with brachos and they start doing the Gemara there. And what happens with this plan to finish Shas is, as he quotes Rav Shor, Gedalia Shor Zatzal, as saying that Ba Shabbos Ba Menucha, when the Masechta starts getting harder, by the time we get to Shabbos, people start dropping off. And then as we progress to Eruvin and beyond, people drop out further. The Vayas, it did not become a Vayas. The reality didn't happen. There was great excitement and planning. So what is, and that's the lesson of Vayakhel-Pekudei, because here it says, Kasher Tziva Hashem es Moshe. It's an amazing thing. Everything that was planned for the commanded for the Bnei Yisrael, they fulfilled. They did it. The planning became a reality. So how can a person make the planning into reality? And the way the answer is through zrizas, with the zeal and alacrity. In Mishlei, it talks about Chazish ish mahir b'machto. Have you seen a man who works with alacrity? And that's talking about David HaMelech. Because what happened, David HaMelech, an example of this is where David HaMelech said to Nasan HaNavi, I'd like to make a Beis HaMikdash, a place for the Shekhinah to dwell, because I have a great palace, but Hashem doesn't. How could that be? And that night, Nasan said that, he said that you can do it. Hashem will be with you. But that night, Nasan was told by Hashem in a nevuah, go back to David HaMelech tonight and tell him that he can't do it. His son Shlomo will build the Beis HaMikdash. So why could it be? Why did he have to go back tonight? Why did Nasan HaNavi have to tell David HaMelech right away? Why couldn't he wait till the morning? Rashi explains that because David HaMelech was an Ish Mahir, was a person who worked with alacrity, with zrizas. He was already contracting with workers and architects to build this Mishkan, Mikdash, and also to order supplies. So if he had to cancel the next morning his written contracts, he'd lose out a lot of money, and Hashem didn't want him to do that because David HaMelech was an Ish Zarius. So the Mesilas Yesharim tells us, what is zrizas? Zrizas is two things. Firstly, is if you have an opportunity to do a mitzvah, do not wait. Do it. Don't put it off. Don't put it aside. And once you start a mitzvah, the second thing is to complete that mitzvah. So that is the lesson as we conclude Chumash Shemos, that the Torah shows us the vital importance of translating promises and planning into reality. And by utilizing zrizas, says Rav Pam, we are able to accomplish much. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful and safe Shabbos.